Money laundering, a crucial part of the global criminal economy, allows illicitly earned funds to appear clean and legitimate. This process has been depicted in popular culture, like Breaking Bad. But in reality, the techniques used by criminals to launder money are sophisticated, global, and continually evolving to evade detection. To understand how these operations work, we can explore the fictional rise of Craig, a bartender who transforms into a drug dealer and must now hide his illicit earnings. Money laundering consists of three primary stages: placement, layering, and integration. The first stage, placement, refers to the introduction of illicit funds into the legitimate financial system. This often involves small, frequent deposits to avoid raising suspicion. In the case of Craig, he might deposit small sums into various accounts or use cash-heavy businesses to hide the origins of his earnings. Banks and regulatory bodies tasked with enforcing anti-money laundering measures are trained to identify these kinds of suspicious activities. Once the money has been placed, the next stage, layering, involves obscuring the money's trail by moving it through various transactions. Craig might transfer funds between offshore accounts, purchase high-value assets like real estate or art, or convert the money into cryptocurrencies, which can be difficult to trace. Layering makes it harder for authorities to track the origins of the money, as it passes through different jurisdictions, currencies, and accounts. The final stage, integration, is the reintroduction of the laundered money into the legitimate economy. By this point, the funds appear clean and can be invested in legitimate ventures or used to purchase luxury items. Craig could invest his money in legal businesses, such as bars or restaurants, blending his illicit earnings with legitimate revenue. This phase often makes the money indistinguishable from legal income, making it difficult for law enforcement to detect. In his early days, Craig might rely on simpler techniques like structuring or smurfing. Structuring involves breaking down large sums of money into smaller deposits to avoid triggering automatic reports from banks. Craig may also use smurfing, where multiple individuals, or smurfs, make small deposits on his behalf, spreading out the risk and making it more difficult to trace the money back to him. As Craig's earnings grow, more sophisticated laundering techniques become necessary. Gambling is one option criminals use to launder larger sums of money. Craig could visit a casino, purchase chips with his dirty money, gamble for a while, and then cash out with a receipt that legitimizes the money as gambling winnings. This method allows criminals to make large sums of cash appear clean, particularly when the transactions stay below reporting thresholds. Cryptocurrency is another modern tool for money laundering. With its decentralized nature and ability to conduct anonymous transactions, digital currencies like Bitcoin and Monero have become attractive to criminals. Craig might use cryptocurrency mixers or tumblers to further obscure the origin of his funds. These services mix his cryptocurrency with that of others, making it nearly impossible to trace the source of the money. Blockchain technology offers some transparency by publicly recording transactions, but the pseudonymous nature of wallets complicates identifying the individuals behind them. As Craig's drug empire expands, he might turn to front companies and shell corporations to launder even larger sums. A front company is a legitimate business that allows criminals to blend dirty money with clean revenue. For instance, Craig could purchase a bar and inflate its sales by adding his illicit cash to the daily earnings. By doing so, he can deposit large amounts of money into the bar's business account, making it appear as though it came from legitimate operations. Shell companies, on the other hand, are often paper-only entities set up in offshore jurisdictions. These companies don't conduct actual business, but serve as vehicles for moving money across borders without detection. At the highest levels of Craig's criminal empire, corruption plays a crucial role. Corrupt bank employees or entire institutions may be complicit in helping criminals like Craig move large sums of money without triggering alarms. Similarly, bribing government officials can allow criminals to bypass legal scrutiny or secure government contracts that provide further opportunities for laundering money. Despite the complexity of these schemes, law enforcement agencies have developed methods to detect and dismantle money laundering networks. Banks are the first line of defense, required by law to monitor transactions and report suspicious activities. Advances in technology, particularly artificial intelligence, have made it easier to detect unusual patterns in financial transactions. AI can flag transactions that deviate from normal behavior, prompting further investigation by human analysts. Regulatory bodies like FinCEN in the United States enforce anti-money laundering measures, working with financial institutions to ensure compliance with reporting requirements. Financial institutions are required to file suspicious activity reports, SARs, when they detect unusual transactions. These reports provide valuable information for law enforcement investigations, helping to uncover money laundering schemes and link them to broader criminal activities. The consequences for those caught laundering money can be severe. Penalties include hefty fines, prison sentences, and the potential seizure of assets. The global nature of money laundering also means that international cooperation is essential in tracking the movement of illicit funds across borders. Jurisdictions with weaker anti-money laundering laws, like certain tax havens, can complicate these efforts, but collaboration between countries has proven effective in dismantling even the most complex laundering operations. Money laundering is not a victimless crime. The illicit funds being cleaned often come from activities such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, and terrorism. These activities have devastating impacts on societies, contributing to violence, corruption, and economic instability. Furthermore, laundering distorts legitimate economies by injecting large sums of untraceable money, giving criminals unfair advantages over lawful businesses. Craig's story is a fictionalized account, but it highlights the real-world mechanisms behind money laundering. Whether through structuring, smurfing, gambling, cryptocurrencies, or shell companies, criminals employ a range of tactics to clean their dirty money. The ongoing battle between criminals and law enforcement is a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with each side continually adapting to the other's tactics. As law enforcement agencies refine their techniques and develop new technologies to combat money laundering, the criminals behind these operations must evolve their methods to stay ahead. Thank you for watching.